Welcome. My name is Satya de la Paz, and this is a short class to awaken an innate state of bliss and ecstasy within us. The word for bliss in Sanskrit, the ancient language of yoga, is Ananda. And it said that Ananda is the fabric of who we are, what we were born into in this world. And at the core of who we are always is this bliss and awareness, or compassion and wisdom. So this specific sequence helps us tap into that. So let's begin with some self-massage. If it's comfortable to sit seated, please sit seated. If not, you can do some of this lying down or seated in a chair, many of these postures. It'll be helpful for this sequence to have two blocks, a scarf or a yoga strap. If you don't have a scarf, you could also use a block, and perhaps a blanket. So let's begin with the hands to the heart, facing the hands to the heart and massaging in a clockwise fashion. Always beginning and ending with the heart, tapping into the wellspring of bliss and wisdom that we are. And then bring your hand to the right foot and squeeze. I like to bring my thumbs to the inside and my fingers to the outside. And then starting to massage up your leg. Some circles at the knee. Then all the way up the thigh. And then back to the heart. And then switch legs, switching the cross of the legs. And back to the heart. Lean to the left and massage around the right outer hip, the right buttock. I like to use the knuckle of my thumb to get in a little bit deeper. You could also use your palm or your fingertips here. And then switch sides. And then use your fists or your palms to massage your low back, mid-back, and kidneys. And back to the heart. Massage your belly. Also clockwise. This is really helpful to stimulate digestion. And then bring your hands to the top of the right shoulder and squeeze a couple times. And then slowly making your way all the way down the arm. And to the hand. And switch sides. And back to the heart. Use the left hand to cup and squeeze the back of the neck. Massage the face with the palms or the fingertips. Spending a couple of extra moments in the areas that need more attention. Oh, my kitty is photobombing the Bliss class. He was attracted to it. He just came up. And then massaging the scalp. And then closing your eyes, noticing what's shifted and what's been released. Please come on to hands and knees. You might like to pad your knees with a blanket. If you don't have a blanket, then a pillow would do as well. Stack your wrist crease right underneath your shoulders, your knees right underneath your hips. And as you inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine, relax the weight of the head. Then inhale to arch, creating space between the armpits and the hips. And exhale to round. And a couple more at your pace. And then pause and center. Turn the shoulders and the hips towards the right, making a C curve with the spine. Breathing and lengthening onto the left side. And then switch sides. And let's do that once more in each direction. Looking towards your right foot. Widening the hip in that direction as well. And then switch sides, keeping the sides of your waist lifted, low belly lengthening. And then pause and center. Step forward to the front edge of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips, ground through your feet, and stand all the way up. Let's do a little bit of twisting. Bring your hands towards your chest. And as you exhale, bring your right arm back behind you. Inhale, center. Exhaling, left arm reaches. And inhale, center. And a couple more at your pace. Warming up the spine. Next time you come to center, release. And please begin your Ujjayi breath. So it's inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And on the exhale, a gentle tone of the throat muscles. And I invite you to close your eyes or bring your eyes to half closed and imagine or picture moonlight. You might imagine moonlight scattered across water or a deep, full harvest moon. And imagining that on that inhale, the moonlight cascades in and down the front of the spine. And then on the exhale, it draws up the back of the spine and out. And this is connecting to Soma, the nectar of immortality, the innate presence of bliss that resides within and around us. So keeping that breath, please bend your legs for Utkatasana. And then form your hands in this diamond. Bring the hands to the heart. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, bring the inner edges of the hands together, palms up towards the heart. And then exhale, palms off or forward. Forming the diamond, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And continuing at your pace. If it's too tiresome to keep the bend in the legs, then you can straighten the leg or you can even take a seat here. Please finish the one that you're on and do one more. Please take a wider stance. Feet a little bit wider than outer hips distance. Spin your toes out. And then bend your knees. Make sure your knees are pointing in the same direction of your toes. And you have the option to bend your arms by your sides, Durgasana. Deep moonlight breaths, drawing in through the nose. And then on your next inhale, crescent left, exhale, center, inhale, right, exhale, center, and a couple more in each direction. Some folks will be able to bring their forearm to their thigh to go a little bit deeper. Root from the pelvis down through the feet, slowly straighten the legs. And step your feet together. Please either interlace your hands behind your back, or you can grab your scarf or your belt and strap your hands up behind your back. And start with your hands as wide as your shoulders. If your shoulders are tighter, if you're newer to yoga. Ground from your pelvis down through your feet. Lengthen your spine. Draw the shoulder blades on the back. You have the option to stay here or to fold forward, stretching the fingertips up towards the sky. Never trying to force anything that's going to cut off the flow of bliss and wisdom. The flow of the life force gets cut off when we force, when we overexert. Ground through the feet. Inhale, stand all the way up. And please release the strap to the side. Step your feet together. So next we're going to do this really powerful mantra behind me. And I'll put the music on. It's a beautiful mantra by Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda. And joining in with the words if ever you feel called. And then there's some movement with the arms. So you'll get your right arm circling to the right. And then once you have that, get your left arm circling. And I'm going to face you, and it's going to look like I'm going in the opposite direction as you. So you can keep the circling going. Hands come close together around the same time, palms not quite touching. And we'll get the music going. And find a place for the legs. You can do the Durga squat that we had a moment ago. You can take a seat. You can even do this lying down if you need to. And we'll go for about 3 minutes here. Siri, Siri, Akam, Siri, Akam, Mahakam, Mahakam, Satnam, Akam, Ure, Vaheguru. Siri, Siri, Akam, Siri, Akam, Mahakam, Mahakam, Satnam, Akam, Siriyakam, Mahakam, Mahakam, Satnam, Akam, Siriyakam, Mahakam, Mahakam. Satnam Akamure Waheguru Sashri Shri Aka Shri Aka Mahaka Mahaka Satnam Akamure Waheguru Sashri Shri Aka Shri Aka Mahaka Mahaka Satnam Akamure Waheguru. Just 20 more seconds. Keep breathing. And releasing the arms, closing the eyes. Noticing if anything's shifted in the body or the mind. Notice if you feel more vital, more awake, more alive. And opening your eyes. We're going to set up for a supported posture. So you'll have set your 2 blocks up. And one of the blocks will go right in line with your feet. And the other block will go with your hips. If you have a wall accessible, you can bring the block close to the feet, up to a wall, and you can even press your feet into a wall here. And then you'll bring your pelvis up onto one of the blocks and your feet onto the other. And if you'd like to make this pose more challenging, you can lift the blocks. Particularly this block underneath the pelvis can go all the way up to the highest level. And then grab your strap and you'll strap up right around the base of your thighs, strapping the legs all the way together. And then recline down onto your back. Make sure that the block underneath the buttocks is right underneath the sacrum, the flat part of the spine. Tuck your shoulder blades a little bit underneath you. Lift your chest. If there's a ponytail, you might have to move it to the side or take it out entirely so you can ground through the back of your head. If your knees tend to hyperextend, then you can bend your knees a little bit or move the block that's under the feet to the side completely. In fact, I'm going to do that because I'm feeling a little pain in my knees, but you might like to stay with your feet on the block. This asana is reversing the normal flow of energy. The blood starts to flow towards the brain, your brain bathing in fresh blood cells and fresh prana. And keep drinking in the breath in and out through the nose. Moonlight breath, blessing and revitalizing the body. And then move the block that's underneath the feet to the side. Come up onto the balls of the feet and lift the block that's underneath the hips. And lower the hips to the earth. Oh, see, Tego, he was attracted to the bliss and he wanted to come. But he has to move for now. And then roll to one side. And press yourself up to a seat. And you can undo your strap. And please recline down onto your back. Stretch your right leg up towards the sky. Cross your right ankle onto your knee. Then draw the left knee up into the belly. And if you have a kitty or a baby on you, then you can work around the kitty. Interlacing your hands behind the thigh or across the shin bone. If it's not easy to reach, you can grab your pants or you can grab your strap and strap up the back of the thigh. Relax the head and shoulders towards the earth as you work the right knee away from the shoulder. And slowly release. And switch sides. A lot of our yoga practice is an undoing. The layers of conditioning and tend to block the flow of bliss. Block us from our innate state of being. So when we stretch and strengthen the body, slowly release. We're undoing, opening up the body for the optimum flow of bliss and prana. Please bring your arms to your sides and to these cactus arms. Slide the hips over to the left a couple of inches. Draw the knees up into the belly and drop the legs over to the right. If your left shoulder pops off the earth, then you can place a blanket or a block in between your thighs. And if you'd like to deepen this, if the legs are heavily stacked, then you can wrap your left thigh around your right thigh, as if you were crossing your legs into a chair. And bring your knees back to center. Slide your hips over to the right several inches to align your low back. And then lift the knees and drop them over to the other side. And you might like to turn your head towards the right. Kitties just can't resist the yoga. It draws them in. They want to be a part of it. Because bliss attracts bliss. And then slowly draw your knees back to center. Even out your hips. And then roll to your right side. And gently press yourself up to a seat. And sitting up into a chair or sit up onto a block. And we'll end with doing a little bit of breathing, and then we'll do one last chant for bliss. So bring your hands to your low belly. This is called 3-part breath, so we're going to fill up a third of the way through the belly, the ribs, then finally the collarbones. And then we'll hold the breath, and then we'll exhale completely and begin again. I'd like you to pay particular attention to what happens when you hold the breath, because that is our passport to bliss and peace, so we can really rest there. So please exhale completely. Inhale 1/3 into the low belly. Pause. Bring the hands to the ribs. Inhale another third. Pause. Bring the hands to the collarbones. Inhale last third. Pause. And then exhale, release the hands, release the breath. Inhale 1/3. 2/3. Last third. Hold the breath and exhale. And continuing at your pace, just like this. If this feels easeful and you'd like to deepen your experience, you can hold the breath at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. Please finish the one that you're on and do one more. And come back to breathing normally through the nose. Please switch to the cross of the legs or switch your position as I reveal our last chant. So this chant is really beautiful, and it really helps us awaken and tap into the currents of bliss and peace, and reminds us that this bliss and awareness flows the best when we remind ourselves that ultimately we want it to flow for the benefit of all beings. So I invite you to fold your hands into your heart. Please listen to the first round, and we'll do 9 rounds all together. Om Aim Shrim Somaya Nama. 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 Last round. Om Aim Shrim Somaya Nama. May you connect to this current of bliss throughout your day. And may our practice ultimately be of service to all beings everywhere. Namaste.